Most people look at a Hoya and assume it's just another houseplant. Water it, give it light, done. And honestly, that sounds right, because that's what every care guide tells you. But here's the part no one tells you. Hoyas don't live like normal plants. They never have. And the moment you understand where they actually come from, everything about caring for them changes. Today, I'm walking you through a complete Hoya care guide, from soil and water to light, growth patterns, and the one mistake that kills most Hoyas before they ever get a chance to grow. Let's dive in. To care for any plant correctly, you need to understand where it comes from. Hoyas are native to tropical parts of Asia and parts of Australia. In the wild, they grow in warm, humid environments with filtered light coming through the trees above them. They're commonly called wax plants, wax vines, or wax flowers, and that name tells you something important. Their leaves have a thick, waxy outer layer. That's not just aesthetics, that's protection. And their flowers carry that same dense, waxy texture. There are hundreds of different Hoya species, each one different in leaf shape, size, and color. Some trail, some climb, some do both. But almost all of them share one characteristic that most people don't know. And understanding it is the key to keeping them alive. Now here's where things start to get interesting. Most Hoyas are epiphytes. That word sounds technical, but it simply means they don't grow in the ground. In the wild, they grow off the sides of trees and rocks, pulling moisture from rain and humidity in the air, not from soil. This is completely different from how most houseplants work, and this single fact explains almost every care mistake people make with Hoyas. Because when you bring a Hoya home and plant it in regular potting mix, you're asking a plant that evolved for open air and tree bark to survive in dense, moisture-retaining soil. At first, the plant looks fine, but underground, the roots are already struggling because they weren't built for this. They never were. Now, different Hoyas grow differently. Some are natural trailers. They hang and cascade downward naturally. Others are natural climbers. They'll attach to a trellis and grow upward. And some are a combination of both. And here's the part no one tells you. When a Hoya pushes out new growth, it often starts as a bare stem, no leaves at all. Most people panic and cut it off, thinking the plant is dying. That's a mistake. Those bare stems have tiny growth spurs along them. Leaves will develop there. When you cut that stem, you cut off future growth entirely. Now, don't miss this next part, especially if you're a new Hoya owner. There's a saying about evergreen perennials like Hoyas. First they sleep, then they creep, then they leap. And it describes exactly what you should expect. In year one, your Hoya is doing something invisible to you. It's putting almost all of its energy underground, building its root system. You might see little to no growth above the soil. This is completely normal. In year two, once the roots are more established, the plant begins to creep. Growth picks up, slightly, slowly, but noticeably. By year three, when the root structure is fully mature, that's when it leaps. New leaves unfurl fast. Vines extend. The plant you waited 2 years for finally becomes the showstopper it was always meant to be. Because the truth is, people don't fail at growing Hoyas in year 3. They fail in year 1 because they expect too much too fast. And when they don't see growth, they overwater, over-fertilize, or repot. And that's what breaks the balance. 1. Light. The right kind. Light is one of the most important variables for Hoyas. Get it wrong, and the plant suffers. Get it right, and it rewards you. Hoyas prefer bright, indirect light. Some can tolerate short periods of direct sun, but too much causes real damage. Signs your Hoya is getting too much light: scorching on the leaf surface, or leaves that start to pale and slowly turn yellow. Now, here's something interesting. You can actually sun stress a Hoya, and many growers do this intentionally. When exposed to brighter light, some Hoyas develop deep magenta or pinkish tones in their leaves. It looks stunning, but here's what's actually happening. That color change is a defense mechanism. The plant is producing pigments to protect its internal cell structure from light damage. Push it too far, and protection becomes injury. There's a very thin line between sun stress and sunburn. One more thing on light. Because Hoyas trail and cascade, if only one side gets light, only one side will grow. Rotate your Hoya a quarter turn clockwise once a week. This forces even growth from every direction. And make sure light actually reaches the top of the plant. If the top stays in shadow, those leaves shrivel up and die, leaving you with what's called a bald Hoya. A plant that's full on the sides, completely bare on top, and once it gets there, it's very hard to reverse. 2. Watering, the #1 mistake. Now comes the most misunderstood part of Hoya care, watering. And because Hoyas are epiphytes designed to pull moisture from rain and air, not from wet soil, their watering needs are very different from most houseplants. The rule is simple, but people ignore it constantly. Let the soil dry out completely between waterings. Completely. This isn't like a pothos where you water when the top inch is dry. With Hoyas, you wait until the entire root zone is completely dry before you water again. Because when you overwater a Hoya, roots don't struggle slowly, they rot. And once root rot sets in, the plant is extremely difficult to save. But here's the part no one tells you. Most Hoyas have thick, succulent-like leaves that store water. So even when the soil is bone dry, the plant may still have plenty of water stored in its own leaves. So how do you actually know when it's time to water? First, check the leaves. If they look slightly puckered or the surface looks less firm than usual, the plant is getting thirsty. Second, try bending a leaf gently. A well-hydrated Hoya leaf is rigid and stiff. When the plant needs water, that same leaf becomes soft and flexible. That's your real-time signal. One exception. Thinner leaf varieties like Hoya linearis don't like to dry out as far as the thick leaf types. For those, leaf firmness is your most reliable indicator. 3. Soil. Why regular potting mix will fail. And here's where everything goes wrong for most Hoya owners. Regular potting soil. It seems logical. Plants need soil. You plant your Hoya. You water it. Simple. But because Hoyas are epiphytes, regular potting mix works against them. Dense soil retains moisture for days. A Hoya's roots sit in that moisture and slowly suffocate. What a Hoya actually needs is a chunky, airy, fast-draining mix, something that barely holds moisture at all, closer to what you'd use for an orchid or a cactus, not a regular tropical plant. The best options are a straight orchid bark mix or a cactus and succulent mix. Both drain fast, both dry out quickly, both give the roots the open, airy conditions they evolved for. Here's a simple test. If your soil is still wet 2 days after watering, it's the wrong mix. It doesn't matter how carefully you water. If the medium itself won't let the roots breathe, the plant will always struggle. And that's your complete Hoya care foundation. Understand that they're epiphytes. Let the soil dry completely. Use the right mix. Give them bright, indirect light. And be patient with the growth. Do these things and your Hoya won't just survive, it will grow into something genuinely beautiful. If you found this helpful, drop a comment below and tell me, which Hoya are you growing right now? I read every single one. And if you want more guides like this, make sure you subscribe to Plants Viso. There's a lot more coming for you. Thanks for watching.